I am a watcher. I've been being a watcher for many years and will hopefully, with the help of the Lord, continue to be a watcher. I'm putting out a urgent alert for all peoples. This is not lost on me that I understand that I am implying that a lot of the populace, including many who actually watch my video, are probably part of the problem. I understand how that could put me at conflict with much of my followers, etc. Except that I honestly don't know you, okay? And I don't know, and I don't even look at who has subscribed and who follows, etc. All I can say is that I will be holding to what I feel is the truth. That is what I will be beholden to. The United States of America is not seemingly the United States of America 20 years ago. These are the determining factors, not exclusive. There probably are others that I could think of, but these are the ones off the top of my head, and I did not have to try hard to think of these things, unfortunately. I understand that this message is not popular. I understand it's not mainstream. I understand that I'm not officially a part of the news, the media and news in the United States of America or otherwise. And I have no affiliation, either church affiliation of any religion or, institution of any kind to give more credence and credibility. I am a Christian that will never change. I'm a devout Christian. And it is with a heavy heart that I issue this warning, realizing that because I don't have any affiliations, while I believe that should make me more credible, I believe many will determine that this is to be ignored. There's no malice in this. I do not hate America. I do hate what she's become. There's zero malice. So I'll continue. So these are, like I said, some, not all of the determining factors. Please, the motivation behind this is to not embarrass America. It is not to gain followers. It is because this is what I feel is the absolute truth that many of the churches, they are not saying, because many of them seem to be complicit, and other watchers don't seem to be saying. There are some others who do appear to have ascertained this determination, but this is my channel's determination. I will stand upon it because it is the truth. Determination factors. Abortion is still allowed in various American states. The medical community has sexually harmed many youth via now almost abolished medical surgical alteration of healthy boys and girls to alter their gender. Children were removed and alienated from parents based upon parental refusal to cooperate with the sexual torture and mutilation of their sons and daughters via this exact procedure. And that was typically cannot be achieved without the help of the United States government being complicit. So you have two entities working hand in hand in tandem for the destruction of the quality of life and the very bizarre behavior, which is the medical community in the United States of America and the United States government. All forms of public transportation is now currently treacherous to utilize, from Uber to the bus. The safest form of transportation is your own personal vehicle. I understand that many do not have that. I personally do not have a personal vehicle. The government, realizing the undeclared civil war and its participation in that war, and that children are not spared at all and are often the target of mild to lethal attack because of this undeclared war, still compels many of its United States citizens to participate in public schooling and forbids homeschooling in many parts of the United States. Be aware that if you have a family member that is disabled, you may have to report to the same government for the rest of your natural life if they are in your care. That sounds like absolute bondage, considering the situation that the church and many people who are going to offer up their neighbors to this beast system. And some confused people who genuinely are not malicious, but they are just dumb. Yeah, they're not acknowledging this, but you've been warned. Having a disabled child can span from a non-eventful yet blessed aspect of your life to, in the most extreme but possible case, the government and other entities can and will take extreme liberties and control of almost every aspect of your life for the rest of your life, especially if you fall into any minority category. If you are white and not a minority, if you are popular, I still would take this warning with extreme wisdom and caution. We know that I'm not a racist, and my channel is loving and serving all people. This warning is for all people. I do believe it can happen to you too. A popular white couple that perhaps falls out of favor or takes a unfavorable stance. It can. So because this channel serves all people, this warning is issued to all people considering living here, staying here, having a child, period. So even if that child is perfectly healthy, can span from a pleasant, non-eventful life factor. Of course, that having a child is eventful. What I'm saying is in the negative of sense. So not negatively eventful life factor to being bound to several government and private entities via compulsion for a lifetime. And understand that you may think that's silly. You may even be well versed. Perhaps you work for CPS. Perhaps you are a minister. Perhaps you are a social worker. Maybe you believe you know way more than I do. And to your credit and to the credit to reality, you may actually do. Just remember that the person that is issuing this warning has been taking this information for approximately over 10 years, approximately 13 years of compiled information, and is typically accurate in a bizarre, scary sort of way. And also, it is wisdom to at least determine that a very urgent warning is false before you dismiss it, when it could have a huge impact on the quality and maybe even the length of your life. Think of a loveless marriage birthed in compulsion with the consent of the populace for the greater good. Due to the sorcery involved, stalking and other crimes are taking place that is not being reported. It is not in the media. Many of the watchers some of them are complicit, and they are actually doing a disservice to their own countrymen, to themselves, being complicit. The Bible said that many would be complicit. Many around you would gladly offer you up to the beast system, including if you are one of those misguided currently in a gang. Some of you probably know what I'm saying is true. Just because, and please, I know that some of you may be watching and you consider, you don't consider these nuances, but just because someone has made the wrong decision does not mean often they would confirm if they were honest. They know I'm speaking the truth, because many people, they have been betrayed. In fact, some people are probably doing what they're doing out of compulsion, meaning that they are forced to by somebody or some entity. And so they know very much and would attest if they could that what I'm saying is true. Please move forward with wisdom. It is very dangerous to not take sage, wise advice, especially from a source that always gives sage, wise advice. Due to the sorcery involved, these crimes are not being reported. They're not being reported, indicated, even covered by the Christian United States Church, many who are complicit due to hatred of dissent. They are not being reported by the mainstream media. Much of it is pride and arrogance. They don't want to admit what is taking place because it is embarrassing, because it shows that America has gone completely crazy and is out of control. And it also it implicates America in having made very bad decisions that got us here. And a lot of people are trying to avoid responsibility, and they will allow the populace to suffer and die, and their children too, in order to avoid that responsibility. The United States drugged the Ukraine and Russia into war. Deal with it. It's the truth. The United States drugged Israel into war and will do so again, by the way. Deal with it. It's the truth. The most dangerous factor is the one I cannot declare for you, meaning I am not God. So this also is proof of my genuine nature on this channel. I'm going to tell you what I think may be going on, but I can't in good conscience declare this. I don't have enough information. That should be alarming, because that means in every single indicator, determining factor, I have so much compelling evidence that it's true that I can in good conscience declare it as fact. There is only one single thing that I cannot declare in good conscience as fact. I don't want to lie, especially in the name of God on this channel. The most dangerous factor is the one I cannot declare for you, as I do not understand currently what happened approximately 13 years ago. For many of you, if you don't understand, that was kind of the genesis of your problems. Even if you can't pinpoint it that far, if you were to dig deep, you would kind of probably discover it. The United States behaves as one who is under imminent threat of severe warfare harm, probably from China, but I cannot in good conscience declare such a thing, as I have not been able to confirm it either way. This is my gut feeling. The government and populace appear to be behaving in a desperate manner, starting, of course, with the government, because that's what it would take in order to start this civil war. You have been warned, meaning that if it's a gut feeling, I would move. While that's the one thing that I just cannot, it comes back inconclusive every time. If this is true, they are holding it so tight to their breast. It's the one thing they have not been trifling about letting the whole world know, because typically the government tells all the people all of our business. Nonetheless, it is a strong possibility that approximately 13 years ago, something happened behind the scenes, and China probably with some cause. Okay, I'm not what do you call it? I love America, but let's just face it, probably with some type of cause, some type of harm by America, some type of provocation. But nonetheless, probably for one of those, or if not all of those reasons, China may have said something, done something in the back room where we've never saw, because we are too small and we wouldn't know about such a thing. And then America got scared to absolute death and then started to use her people as human shields. Like I said, that's my gut feeling, because this is screaming and giving desperation to the ultimate. And I can't imagine anything making a government turn on her people so bad than a imminent threat from a formidable enemy, especially if you know you actually did something to provoke that threat. I don't know, but if you are a prayer warrior, go ahead and pray about it. In this undeclared civil war, and please understand, well, I'll get to that, but additional determination factors, which this a warning going out to all peoples across the earth is based upon premature death in all age groups. Yes, from in the belly. So, for example, I'll give it a very quick example. So, I am saying with a lot of confidence, actually, that let's say that you don't have a bent, because I know many people see the ability to get an abortion, etc., as a right. But let's say you're not of that persuasion. And let's say it's not even abortion. I'm talking about from inside of the womb. So if a woman, I will say, I believe, unless you have, because I am not an imbecile, I know that there are some parts of the world that are very dangerous, perhaps even maybe more dangerous or harmful than America. I unless you're like in physical war, I that's not many places. I'm not issuing this warning playing like the people, the government, the church, etc., are playing. It is extremely dangerous. But for example, from the time of in the belly, so before the person is born, as soon as, for example, a woman steps foot on United States soil, it is highly likely that she would have been better off, that that baby has less chance to make it than wherever she came from, to the age of elderly. Now they're considering, they talk as if elderly people who are not able to produce in labor, etc., etc. It's just very sick. Maybe they should have assisted deaths, etc. Just understand, when I say premature death in all age groups, that is exactly what I mean. In order to alleviate that, I am suggesting that you reconsider coming or staying in the United States of America. Your outcome may be better off in another area, unless that area is actually in physical war, where physical death can be actually, for example, some places in Africa, I presume, or some places, Muslim places, etc. I still do not determine these places as more dangerous. They just may be more physically dangerous, and to an extent that it is almost guaranteed. That is not necessarily the case in every single American life. That would be a lie. That would be exaggerating. But you really need to take this seriously, because it is a lot of premature death in all age groups in America, and it is not organic. The development of mild to severe mental health diagnosis in all age groups. This is from there are those who would have had mental health issues. There are those who are developing mild to severe mental health issues simply by being in the United States of America. Take that seriously. There is a undeclared civil war. And for example, hold on. If you have minor mental health issues, I strongly advise you to not come to the United States. There is a undeclared civil war that is more dangerous because it is undeclared. Bizarre, annoying to lethally criminal behavior and activity in all age groups. Yes, I said the unpardonable sin. That includes the children. The worst also is, please consider where your child will go to school, who will be their friends. The government is not, and the church is not saying that many children, probably also due to the sacrifice and the abuse, possibly, some may feel compelled to do that. Just use common sense. I'm saying something that is very courageous. Understand, there's no one, including the church, standing with me, no entity, etc. It is all just pure love that I issue this warning. You don't want to be the idiot, and I'm saying this in pure love, that has the one Christian child in a class group of 10 to 30 children. That is stupid. And I'm saying that because I love you. And anyone else who tells you any differently, they don't love you or your child as much as I do. Okay? America hates all of her vulnerable citizens and non-citizen visitors. I predicted this on September 14th, 2025. It was confirmed with a mass shooting of the homeless the very next day on September 15th, 2025. The American church is full of hatred. The Christian church, take this seriously. Take this warning seriously. I am a Christian. Heed this warning. Animal and human welfare is broken as many shelters are not accepting dangerous animals, and potentially dangerous animals are currently being allowed to roam America with no recourse for the populace. Children appear to be born for the purpose of gang affiliation with the full knowledge of the United States government and the full knowledge of the Christian church in the United States, and spiritual demonic sacrifice. And the American church seems to be complicit to maintain power and favors from the beast system. People are marrying each other who appear to secretly truly hate one another. Be warned before choosing an American-born partner as a husband or wife. You have been warned. American gangs have become adept at practicing witchcraft on the higher levels. People appear to be casting spells on animals, dogs specifically. If you have a Chihuahua, that may not be that horrible. If you have a Great Dane, that could be terrible, especially if you have to put that dog down. Take it seriously, because that can go directly to the quality of your life. Please understand, I'm a realist, although I'm a woman. It's sad that I was speaking a lot of men, but I'm a realist, and that could go directly to a crime that could happen if they kill your dog via witchcraft and you have to put that dog down. Then your house is more easy to breach. You are more easy to touch physically. I don't want to be that person, but then I have to be that person. It is about common sense. If you are predisposed to like having a pet, if you currently have a pet, if you want to keep that pet, do not ignore this warning. If you have a loved pet, especially dogs, especially large dogs. Covetousness has risen to the extreme. The government and absolute strangers take liberties that are insane with all things private and sacred, from your pets to attempting to pry in your schedule, to your job, your husband, your wife, to your literal life. For some, the thought alone can be extremely disturbing. This is all the basis of an amazing horror film. But this is actual American life with actual American people, from the poor to, I don't know if it's the rich, but they're probably, because I don't have any, I would be lying if I said I have data on rich people. Okay, so it is from the poor to the everyday middle class American citizen. You've been warned. This is an extreme form of disturbing actualization of harassment, and it can wreck a person's life. With this bizarre behavior mixed with sorcery, it's unreportable. And when you do have actual crimes, I just said actual crimes, a person comes, they keep coming at the same time every day to your yard, but because they don't beat the hell out of you, I guess right there, then it's unactionable. A person just starts screaming around the same time every single night, every single afternoon, every single day. You would think we have laws in place like noise laws, okay? Or trespassing. These laws are being completely ignored and not enforced because the United States government, including many of the citizens who are sick, hate, and I am not using that word lightly, hate the populace. Okay, so this is a civil war you need to take seriously, and take seriously before you move someplace in the United States. Take this seriously. These things are not reported, and by the time justice does step in, it's not real justice, because there were many instances in which they should have done something and actually enforced laws already on the books, but they don't have any incentive to do that because they hate the people that are calling for help. The average American, oh, and they're also punishing, it looks like, and I don't have this written down, they're also punishing cops that actually cop. And they're going back and forth. So if you feel like you want to come to the United States and possibly be a cop or something like that, know that the beast system seems to be mistreating them. On one hand, it's supporting them. On another hand, it's offering them up as sacrifices. When they do the most minor thing, the United States government, now I do believe Mr. President actually does appreciate the cops, but he's one person, and I declare him a pure Manchurian candidate. At one time he was not. He has become, by the will of the church that is bizarre, okay, to the extreme, by the will of the populace who are sick also and bizarre to the extreme. He is a glorified now Manchurian candidate. Take that seriously. He's no longer able to truly do what is right and best for America because the populace is sick, and he is intelligent. He knows. He knows. Can you imagine that? I do not covet his life. Okay, I can't imagine leading a whole nation knowing up to 50%, maybe more than 50% of them are very sick. The average American citizen seems to have become a zombie sociopath for the beast system, and they are simply awaiting their activation. Take that seriously. As a watcher, more importantly, before I'm a watcher, I am a devout Christian woman, a devout Christian lady and mother. Because of that, I know it is actually blasphemy to actually say that God forbids marriage. Please understand, in great adherence to respect of the word of God, I am not saying you're forbidden to marry, but I am telling you urgently, okay, that I'm issuing this warning. America has been deemed treacherous. The Bible actually says, someplace in Revelation, woe to those who give suck. It doesn't say that they were wrong that they give suck. And it may not even apply, because I know some of the complicit ministers may be confusing you on purpose because they're quoting something that may not apply to certain groups. But understand, for all people, the beast system will be treacherous. So while it seems like it may not directly apply to all people, it does apply. A beast system does affect all people. That does not exclude people who have those who suck. That is a nursing baby. It is saying in some instances, the nursing baby will not be scared. You need to take this warning very seriously. Some of you have the funds and the ability to move your family out of America. Pray about it. I don't know the Lord's will for your life. I'm certain there are some people who he actually wants to stay, but please do not confuse that with being okay. Do not confuse the presence of some people, including me, in the United States of America, after this warning is issued, as America not being that bad. Don't do yourself that disservice. Some people do not have the funds to move. Some people are anointed for a dangerous place that is America. Do not be confused by what you are seeing around you. The reason why I want to go back to relationships and marriage, particularly, and giving birth, you see this says, note to all foreign nationals, do not come here. Pray before you step foot on American soil. If God did not send you, God Himself personally, do not come. The watcher formal declared status is treacherous. That is the highest level of danger. Okay, and while you may not die on the day, and some of you could, I rebuke that, but I would not be surprised if some people, the day that they arrive to America, that is the end of their life. Over time, your career, your mental health, your financial health and future, your relationship with God Himself, do not come. Some of you, I believe in love. Do not confuse. I'm an artist and I'm a romanticist and a woman. I am a normal woman. I know it can't seem to be because I am so practical about what I am seeing and the danger thereof. But the truth and the reality is that you may, for some of you, if you can, and I'm talking about true love, it may be better for you not to marry that person because the danger associated with, first, they have to be, if it is a woman, she has to go through a pregnancy for 9 full months, hopefully, in order to carry the baby. And you're wanting her to do that in the United States of America. That is treacherous. Then she's getting medical care from an American doctor. The American medical system has medically raped many people doing the unthinkable, altering their healthy bodies for no apparent reason in order to change and bend their gender identity. Many doctors have brought lives to an end with abortion. This is the reality. I am a romanticist, but this is the reality of the situation. When your wife, when your girlfriend, hopefully it is your wife, this channel is for God, and it should be your wife, but in reality, also, sometimes people sin. Hopefully you make it right. But when she walks into that medical facility, it could not be uneventful, but do not. Many of these cases are not reported. Many people don't understand that they received a one single horrible appointment, one piece of horrible advice when they were almost ready to be at term. One mistreatment, one medication that was wrong. Many people do not report. Some don't know. They simply don't know. But really bizarre, lethal things are happening. And your loved one, hopefully loved one, is in an extreme vulnerable capacity. And this is just determined by pure love. It would maybe better to not have that happen at all, not marry, not get her pregnant, because that could be her life and that could be the baby's life. And it would be truly sad, even if you don't know it, that it was all done on purpose. On purpose. That is terrible. You will not hear this on the news. You will not hear this from the church. You will not hear it from many of the watchers because many of them are complicit. For those of you also, for situations, be knowledgeable. Many people are sick. The populace in America, it is like the zombie apocalypse. They are not healthy. They are still having children. They are still getting into relationships. They are getting married. I said that. I know that it is not going to be popular. It is the truth. Understand, if you are healthy, take this warning seriously, I would reconsider. If you want to really be married, I would strongly consider moving to another country and choosing a spouse that is not sick, that lives there, because it is a high possibility that the person you take in marriage, whether it be a husband or a wife, is sick. There is no test for this sickness. There isn't even an acknowledgement, because the government and church are complicit, that these people are sick, but very, very ill. And marriage opens you up to what you know. You use your common sense. They want access if they are sick. Now, if they're healthy, if they're one of the few that are still healthy, they don't have this mindset. But if they are not healthy, and many of the populace are not healthy, they want access to your medical records. That is why they're marrying you, even if they don't know it consciously, even if it's subconscious. They want access to your medical records. They want to have children for the purpose of having currency for the demonic. Your children are nothing more than what may seem to be even spoiled, but from the Genesis, before they even exist, your children are nothing more than currency for the devil to that person. You will not be able to change their mind. You will not be able to convert them when much of the church has the same illness. They want access to your life. They can determine the quality of your life if you are ever incapacitated. They can determine how that goes. They want access to your bank account and your records. They want access to your mind. They want access to your body. God made marriage, understand, He made marriage one of the, if not the deepest relationships a person can have. The devil knows this. Some of you are not taking this seriously. The reason why he sent them to marry you is because they will have that kind of access. And that is beneficial to the beast system in America. I am urging you to not grant anyone that access to your life. And for some of you who are very strong, your breaking point will be they will have access to your children. All access. And the B system has already proven in America that it will ignore and humiliate the parent that dissents in favor of the parent that wants to go crazy when it comes to the decisions made on behalf of the child. Prevent that by not doing it. Once again, there is no recourse or refugee status for undeclared war. That is part of the sickness. For those of you who know, you have seen a family member go through this. You have seen a coworker go through this. You have seen a loved one go through this. You yourself have gone through this. You know it is part of the sick system to give you no, because if you have a determining status as a refugee, if there is a declared war, other countries and other people and even fellow Americans would have some empathy in regards to what you're going through. And that realization alone will get you perhaps some help and recourse. The hatred by the church and the beast system is so intense. They want you to not have any determination so that you cannot enter any other country as a refugee because they hate you that much. In some cases, they say America in the church, the American church, and the American beast system that is abusing her population with glee are currently the popular thing is everybody else, every other government in the earth is horrible. Well, not all of them, but many of they go on and on and on, congratulating them with the self-congratulations and the patting on themselves on the back. Meanwhile, they may be in a better situation because any country can recognize the refugee status. That is not the same for you. The current watch or declare status for the United States of America as of September 16th, the year of our Lord 2025, is treacherous. You've been warned. Don't pretend like that never happened. Goodbye.